Pteranodon. This animal needs no introduction. Its name means winged and toothless, which already tells us something cool. Even though many flying reptiles had teeth, Pteranodon didn't. So what exactly was a Pteranodon? It wasn't a dinosaur, but it did live alongside them during the late Cretaceous period, around 86 to 66 million years ago. Pteranodon belonged to a group of flying reptiles called pterosaurs, which were the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight, way before birds or bats. Fossils of Pteranodon have mostly been discovered in North America, especially in places that used to be covered by shallow seas, like Kansas. They were part of a group of reptiles called the Pterosauria, which means flying lizards. But even though they were called lizards, they were actually more closely related to dinosaurs than to modern lizards. Feathers or no feathers. While many dinosaurs had feathers, there's no solid evidence that Pteranodon had feathers. Instead, it had leathery wings made of a skin membrane that stretched from its body to an extra long finger, kind of like a giant bat wing. Just how big was it? Pteranodon was huge. Some species had wingspans over 20 feet, about the size of a small airplane. But despite their size, they were very lightweight, which helped them glide gracefully through the skies. And don't worry, they didn't weigh a ton. Even the biggest ones likely weighed less than 50 pounds, about 20 kilos, closer to a large turkey than a lion. If they had feathers, they must have looked like a giant bird, right? So the fact that the Pteranodon had feathers doesn't mean that it looked like a bird. But don't be fooled by their looks. Pteranodons were actually reptiles, which means they were scaly and laid eggs. Their wings were made up of a membrane that stretched from their body to their huge, long fingers. That's because Pteranodon likely ate fish, using its long beak to snatch them right out of the water, like a prehistoric pelican. But how big were these wings? Well, the largest ones ever found were attached to a Pteranodon that had a wingspan of over 30 feet, which is the same length as 3 double beds lined up side by side. That's huge. But the size of their wings also meant that they needed to stay in the air almost constantly. What did they eat? Pteranodons were carnivores, mostly eating fish and maybe other small animals. They likely soared over oceans and lakes, diving or skimming the water to catch their meals. But sadly, just like the dinosaurs, they went extinct about 66 million years ago. It's believed that a massive asteroid that crashed into the Earth caused massive climate change, which ultimately led to their extinction. So next time you see a bird soaring overhead, remember, once upon a time, skies were ruled by massive winged reptiles, and Pteranodon was one of the kings. Imagine one gliding over your head with a wingspan the length of a bus. Let's just say, if it had wanted your burger, there wouldn't be much you could do about it. So remember, the next time you see a bird, it could have been a lot worse. If you enjoyed learning about this ancient sky surfer, don't forget to share this video, like, and subscribe for more incredible creatures from the past. So keep watching.